Imagine for a moment a community, maybe one you know quite well, and it's suddenly struck by this immense force of nature, something that just shatters the familiar landscape, shakes everything up. Yeah, completely destabilizing. Exactly. Now, picture that colliding like head-on with really deep personal betrayals, secrets that have been buried for ages suddenly bubbling up. And on top of all that, the chilling return of an old enemy, someone formidable, right? To multiple crises, hitting at once. What happens when all these things converge? Not just physically, but emotionally, psychologically, it forces this whole family and really the whole community to face truths they maybe didn't want to face. Absolutely. Impossible choices potentially changing everything. Welcome to the deep dive. Today we are plunging into the intricate layers of a really pivotal moment in the series. Specifically, Season 1, Episode 106. It's called After the Storm, very aptly named. It just aired, actually. Monday, July 28th, 2025, 8:3 p.m., SACE Once Magic Channel 161. And this episode, wow, it's not just an event. It feels like a seismic shift. You know, something that echoes through the whole story. It really does. And our mission today really is to meticulously unpack all those intricate layers. We're doing a proper deep dive into the source material we have here. We want to draw out the most important nuggets, the insights looking at how this devastating flood, plus a truly shocking revelation and the return of this old adversary, how they don't just happen separately, right? They converge. Exactly. They converge to create this critical turning point. It's huge for the main family, the Magwas, but also for their entire community, Ilwini. It's like a masterclass in how external pressure forces this internal reckoning. That's such a good way to put it. Yeah. We're going to scrutinize the key plot points, really delve into the major character arcs that get twisted and turned here, and we'll dissect the big themes that make this episode just so impactful. Get ready for some genuine aha moments, hopefully, as we connect the dots between the personal dramas, those long-held secrets, and these larger power struggles that could genuinely redefine everything we thought we knew about Ilwini. And, well, the whole Mugwaza legacy. Yeah. It's not just about recounting what happened, it's about why it matters. What does it really mean going forward? Exactly. So, let's start by setting the scene looking at the storm that was already brewing. You know, metaphorically speaking, even before the actual flood hit in after the storm, the Thonga series, as you'll know if you've been following, had already set up this really complex narrative around the Magwaza family. They're central, obviously, absolutely central. And they've been tangled up in these well-extensive and often kind of ethically murky business dealings within Uzalo, which is this vibrant community, but often pretty volatile too. Definitely volatile. So even before episode 106, these dealings were already causing significant tension, lots of internal strife, external conflict. Yeah, it felt like a powder keg just waiting, you know. Indeed. And a cornerstone of those character dynamics. Something the sources we looked at really highlight again and again is that established duality of the Magwaza twins, Benel and Sel. Ah, yes, the twins. They aren't just brothers. They're consistently portrayed as these almost archetypal opposing forces. It's like a light versus dark, integrity versus temptation. That classic dynamic. Exactly. Benelli often seems to be the family's conscience, you know, trying to push for the ethical path, whereas Sainel, well, he frequently gives in to more pragmatic, sometimes morally gray choices, usually for power or, you know, immediate gain, right? And this isn't just a simple sibling rivalry, it's this recurring motif that explores the actual moral fabric of the family. The choices they have to make as they try to gain influence in Uzalo. Their relationship is almost like a microcosm of the whole series' bigger themes. That makes sense. And then woven into all that, deeply entwined with the family dynamic is the profound suffering of Makumalo. Oh, Makumalo. Yes, Her experience with that devastating theft, which happened well before this episode, right? It's been this huge emotional anchor for the series. It caused her this profound, almost debilitating grief over the loss itself, but also this deep, gnawing sense of personal betrayal. Yeah, the violation of trust. Exactly. It wasn't just stuff being taken, and it was a violation that left this deep scar. It makes her a character whose pain you really feel, and it shapes so much of the family's emotional landscape. Her storyline has consistently explored themes of healing, resilience, and that incredibly difficult journey of trying to come to terms with such a profound injustice. Precisely. And adding fuel to that already simmering fire is in Kasanathi's secret. And Goafi, he's been carrying this crucial knowledge about the theft and, importantly, the actual identity of the thief. And that secret hasn't just been, well, a secret. It's been like a ticking time bomb, hasn't it? A source of immense internal conflict. For him just waiting for the perfect or maybe the most catastrophic moment to detonate, our sources consistently point to this as a key pre-existing conflict, a heavy cloud hanging over the Magwaza house. Basically, that's just about to be thrust dramatically into the spotlight. It's going to force a reckoning that simply can't be avoided. And as if the family already balancing on these internal fault lines wasn't enough drama, right? We've also had this ominous presence sort of lurking in the background. This shadow that's been getting longer and longer. An old adversary. The adversary. This isn't some random villain who just popped up. The sources confirm this entity, whoever they are, has been there all along, patiently nursing these historical grudges, and they're linked specifically to the Magwaza family's business empire, which implies deep roots. Exactly. Deep-rooted rivalries, maybe over land, resources, influence within Iawini, who knows?